UFC 308 is going down this weekend in the Octagon, and you are not going to want to miss it. You can make Fight Night even more exciting by getting in on the action with my partners, DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up using my code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. You can also stay in on the NFL action and use your $200 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, download the app. Use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Oh, my official prediction for Chimaev versus Whittaker, and still undefeated. Khamzat Chimaev. Now, my partners at DraftKings have not flinched, okay? DraftKings from Jump Street favored Chimaev, but that line has moved. That line has moved. And the betting public is coming on Chimaev. And the media, if you had to say who has favored Chimaev, that's not a personal thing. And Chimaev is one of these guys. Chimaev is a top 3 media darling of all time. There has never been a media sensation where the MMA community got a hold of him and, oh my God, it was hot. Never, aside from Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, and Chimaev. That's including being in front of Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock steered away from a lot of media, but he was still one of the most likely guys to end up on Jay Leno's couch, right? And I'm telling you, that's the top 3. Ronda, McGregor, Chimaev. And frankly, I'm not positive where Chimaev fits in that. I mean, there was periods of time, guys. Oh my golly, he was hot. He was so hot. This idea that happened on accident about this guy that'll fight at different weight classes, and he'll fight on super short notice, and he'll fight with anybody. Like, Cowboy Cerrone been doing that for a while, but there was something about Chimaev changing the weights and booking and going in there instantly, and it was on accident. He was out in Abu Dhabi. You guys know about this, right? He's out in Abu Dhabi as a fight at 185 pounds. It's his debut. He's 24 years old. Stops the guy in the first round. UFC, it's COVID. They're going to stick around, get some more bang for their buck. Sweetheart, they're here. They're going to do a show the very next week. Well, somebody falls through at 170. See, that's the interesting part of the story. Chimaev, who wins, makes his debut. He's happy as can be. He's got some money in his pocket. He's on Fight Island, drinking out of coconuts and eating fresh pineapple and steaks and all these wonderful things. He's got to pull down to 170 pounds, and he's only got 6 days to do it. By the time he finds out about the fight, he's actually only got 4 days to do it. It is the most interesting part of the story, and nobody really made a big deal about it. The most interesting part was not that it was 2 guys in 2 different weight classes and 2 stoppages in the first round. The most interesting part is that he went down, not up. Fine. When we go from that perspective, it was on accident. This wasn't on purpose. However, they did begin to book him that way, and it was red hot. And it was as though the marketing team maybe didn't notice, or maybe nobody did. I mean, maybe nobody was realizing over there at the UFC how important this was. Like, we got to get this guy booked. We got to get him booked, and we got to get him in there. Jared Burchard, total stud. Bring him on, back at 185 pounds. But it was important. The quick was important. Run him up the ranks. Start conversations. Is he the guy to take out Kamaru Usman? Can he get everybody out of there in less than a round? Like, there was a lot on him, but it was really, really working. Now, I'm telling you that because DraftKings is favoring Chimaev, and I think that that's the right thing to do. I would favor Chimaev. Hello there. Good afternoon. I just have a harder time communicating with you guys when you ask me how. If you were to come to me and say, okay, Chimaev's going to win, how? That's a problem. I mean, ask yourself that real fast. Chimaev's going to beat him. Whittaker's best days are behind him, which simply isn't true. I actually don't hear that narrative. That was unfair of me. I actually don't hear people trying to act like Bobby Knuckles is not still a massive player. But there is always something to be said, right? old Chinese proverb, the guy from out of town with the white shirt knows the most. And it's true. It's not just true in the Western movies, it's true at all times. I see this in an athlete. When a coach comes in from out of town, new guy, fresh look, haven't seen or heard his stuff, that's who we all want. Not our consistent coach that we have every single day, even if our coach is better, right? The guy from out of town with the white shirt knows the most. So the media is favoring Chimaev. DraftKings is favoring Chimaev. I'm just letting you know you're a little bit stuck if you were to say how. And 3 rounds versus 5 rounds is a wildly different situation. And because this fight, when it was originally scheduled, was a main event, they decided to keep that. They're going to preserve the fight. They're going to preserve all the details and agreements of the fight. They're just going to do it in a different place, which happens to now not be a main event because there's a title on the way. All right, but this is how we got here. Both guys have known. Both guys have known. I'm standing across from you, and I'm doing it for 25 minutes. No surprises, nothing new. Just so you understand that. I think that's one of the things that DraftKings responded very well to. I think that Chimaev is a real conditioned machine myself. I think he's one of the guys that can weaponize pace. And you got to have a different level of conditioning to weaponize pace, right? You're talking about guys in a different category. The old Dan Gable method that St. Pierre did, that Randy Couture did, that GSP did. It's a very, very rare thing. And I think Chimaev's part of that, but there's a lot of you that disagree. There's a lot of you that think he showed a fatigue with Gilbert Burns. There's a lot of you that think he showed a fatigue against Kamaru Usman. And you're not wrong to recognize Chimaev was tired. You're wrong to criticize him for it. Everybody should be completely exhausted or you should get your money back. That's their job. If it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, your job is to come out with nothing left. And I'm just sharing for you that Chimaev's pace was so high, it's what won him those fights, that I feel that I'm the one that's right. That he did utilize that conditioning as a weapon. I'm the one that right. That's what he demonstrated, but not all of you agree. And Robert Whittaker has shown, without any shadow of a doubt, that he's part of the 25-minute club. There are not very many athletes that have ever fought in their entire career 25 minutes. Generally, they don't get booked for it. That's reserved for main events and title fights. You simply don't make it to that spot. But even if you do make it to that spot, there's Hall of Famers, guys. There are guys in the Hall of Fame that are not part of the 5-round club. It's a rare thing, and we know Whittaker can do it. Size does matter, especially when you're talking about fatigue. And I think those things, again, lend, right, to a very helpful conversation. I think Whittaker is the bigger of the two. But we're getting videos that are surfing around the internet. Says Chimaev's the bigger of the two, that he's grown to the weight class, that he's really having to pull down. I think DraftKings is looking at that. I think you guys are looking at that. I am going to pick Chimaev. I think DraftKings got it right. But you can hear in my tone that I'm light on this. You can hear I'm not bullish on that concept. And you know what? The people I talk to that are picking Whittaker are bullish. You want a Felter fact that I got earlier today? Bobby Knuckles is going to stop Khamzat Chimaev. I can't remember the last time that a Felter fact went wrong, by the way. He's on one hell of a hot streak. I don't see it that way. I think you have a very close and competitive fight. I am leaning towards Chimaev, which is exactly what DraftKings is doing. That is exactly, even with this line moving, what DraftKings is doing. But the people that are picking Whittaker think this is a mismatch. They think it's a small guy that doesn't belong against another guy who's the champion of the world. And I'm glad it's happening. It's the fight to make. It's the fight that I want to see. It's the rightful number one contender fight that should draw in, rightfully so, to the winner of Dricus and Sean Strickland. So we got a semifinal going on, right, guys? We got a bracket. We got 2 semifinals. The first of the semifinals is this fight. Chimaev Whittaker. I am putting the curse on Khamzat Chimaev.